All right, well, good morning. We are going to continue with the chassis weld out theme. I need to figure out some underside gussets for these front link mounts. If you guys remember from earlier episodes, I tied the oil pan skid into this plate that mounts off the front link mount, and I still want to figure out a way to gusset this front link mount. I'm most likely not going to be able to gusset across here because the bolt runs through here and I need access to the nut on this side. So I won't be able to gusset both sides of the link mount like I do, or like I have on all the others. However, I can still gusset from here to here, bridge between the two, and that I'm hoping will be good enough. I think it will be. So, but what I need to do is take these plates and trim them. Take these plates and trim them flush with the bottom of the belly here, and figure out a way to tie the edge of this plate into here. Tie the edge of this plate into here. When I had this all in mock-up and when I was designing the oil pan skid, obviously this stuff is really hard to get to because the chassis is sitting. This is the bottom of the chassis, so it's sitting on the cart or on the floor. So now that I have access, I can go ahead and finish tying this all together and get that all wrapped up. That's what I'm going to focus on doing today. If I get enough time and I get far enough, I'm going to put the chassis back right side up and continue welding. You might notice that my engine mounts, my transmission crossmember, and the transfer case mount is just still tacked in, and I'm leaving it that way until I get the chassis fully welded out. Then I'll put the mock-up engine and transmission and T-case back in, and then fully weld out the T-case. I didn't want to fully weld out the drivetrain mounts until the chassis was fully welded out, in case stuff moves around. You know how metal moves around when you weld it and heat it up. So I've had trouble with that before, or I've had experience with that happening before. So I'm gonna wait until the chassis is fully welded out and go ahead and tackle it after that. So anyway, here we go. One of the most difficult things I've found in doing a project like this is just staying the course. Continue to make steady progress while you stay the course, stick to the original plan, not cut corners, and make sure you continue with the quality of the work that you had started before. There are little things all over a project like this that are not fun to do. However, they need to be done. And I guess what I'm trying to say is just you got to stay motivated and find the fun in the little things that need to be done. So here I'm designing those gussets to fill in on those link mount plates. Then I'll get them cut on the plasma table off camera and get them prepped and cleaned. In the meantime, I'm going to go in and weld some of those areas on the link tab brackets that are going to be on the inside there, just to add extra surface area or extra weld to strengthen those up as much as possible. All right, so I ran some welds on the inside, outside, whatever you want to call it, of these link tabs before I put this bottom gusset on. I've already got that cut out, as you saw in the time lapse, and then I went ahead and backed up these welds on this box, I guess, structure for the oil pan skid tube. Went ahead and welded down in here as well, just trying to put as much weld in there to make everything as braced up as possible, so or as strong as possible, I guess you could say. So now I got to clean up those gussets that I just cut out on the plasma table, and I'll be right back over here welding them. All right, so I cut these little gap fillers that will tie this back into this tube. It'll sit like that, and then I thought, well, I could put it just like this, but then I have this gap, that little triangle about where my pointer finger is underneath there to fill in. So if I put it like this and then just put a break in this so it comes down this way, I should be good. So what I'm going to do is figure out what that angle is and then put a break in these little plates and then tie that all together. And then I cut this little fish mouth, so that little fish mouth will sit like that, and I'll weld in there where that fish mouth is, and it'll give a little more strength rather than it just being straight across there. So we'll go over to the brake and break these, and we'll see if we can get that to fit up. So now what I'm going to do is mark the point of the bend on the bracket and draw a straight line across there. I'll take it over the brake and go ahead and bend it. Before I do that, I'm going to find the angle and figure out how much I need to bend. I don't end up using this anyway. I just kind of eyeball it, and what do you know, it actually worked out. It fit just about perfect. And one of the things that I would do differently if I could is I would go ahead and do this all in a more consistent length of time or period of time, to where I didn't have to clean up every single weld joint, because the chassis has been sitting now in tube and bare tube for probably close to 2 years since I started this. Now I have to go back and clean everything before I weld it, which takes a little extra time, but it's just part of the deal. A little bit of surface rust and also mill scale that needs to be taken off. Alright, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to tack this bracket in 4 spots before I start fully welding it in. It occurred to me, you know, I should probably do a video on just welding tube. Welding tube and tube joints, even though this is just a bracket, I'm thinking out loud here, presents a whole set of challenges, because you're trying to weld around a 360 surface area, 360 degree surface area on the tube, and you don't always have optimal angles to work on, and you're having to rotate your gun angle all the way around the tube, and you're constantly changing your gun angle. You have to be able to see what you're doing. Your speeds on your welder your wire feed speeds and your heat settings need to be just right, and there are a number of different ways to do it. If you guys are interested in seeing a video like that with testing different welder settings and different techniques, let me know in the comments, and I might take the time to go ahead and do that. So in the previous clip, it was sped up 2 times, and here this is real time. So you can kind of see and hear the welder and how it sounds, the oscillating technique that I'm using, and just watch the welder do its work. This stuff, to me, I geek out on this because you know, a lot of it's in the sound, and then what you also see in the puddle under the hood. But I'm constantly learning how to weld and be a better welder. I guess
what I'm trying to say is I'm constantly trying to improve how I weld, and my different techniques. And I have two different machines. I have an old school machine, and then I have this newer Lincoln machine, which is completely digital. And this one's a little bit trickier to figure out. The old school machine is either on or off. Once you pull the trigger, you're going. This one has a short run-in, so it takes a little bit of getting used to. But once you get used to it, it welds really well. So this is a copy of the previous clip that I was just talking over, and if you hear the welder pop and sputter right there, what it's doing is, and the reason why it's doing that is because I'm advancing the puddle. I'm getting the electrode out of the puddle too far from the puddle before I oscillate back into it. In other words, I believe what's happening is I'm moving too fast, and that's what I mean by watching these videos and geeking out on it, because I can hear what it's doing, but when you're in the heat of the battle under the hood, sometimes you just don't think about it. You're in get her done mode, and it looks fine under the hood, but I can hear now, after rewatching this, what I'm doing wrong is I'm trying to advance the electrode past the puddle too far before I circle back into it, if that makes sense. Again, like I said, I totally geek out on this stuff. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, if it might help somebody, but that's what's happening. Alright, so here, just moving on, I'm getting the bracket prepped and the surface prepped to go ahead and weld in the link mount gussets. Again, like I said, the fact that it's taken me a year and a half or whatever it's been, 2 years, to go ahead and start doing the finish welding on the chassis is not working for me in this instance. As far as time, it's working kind of against me, because I have to clean everything up on the chassis surface again, whereas when the tubing was fresh off the shelf, it was fairly clean with a light coat of oil. But since it's been sitting around in the elements, it's been in the shop, but there's moisture in the air, and you do get some surface rust and other things. Just there's a lot of re-cleaning and re-prep, but that's just part of the deal.
All right, well, I think I got that. These are gonna work. So gussets from here to here. This area, this cavity is open so that I can get to this nut on this side of the link mount with the open end wrench. And then I think what I'll do is I'll have this oil pan skid come in. It'll tie into here. It'll cover these cavities and then go up that way toward the front. But I think it's come together. That's going to work. I just tacked these in place for now, and I think I'm going to take advantage of being able to flip the chassis over on its lid, and I'll just weld them out real quick, and then keep on making progress.
Well, got everything done on that bottom side, or from that angle for now, so it's time to flip her back over. I've gotten really good at doing this. Thank God for having a nice machine like that forklift to help me out. It's one thing I've noticed, though, as I get this thing welded out even more and add more bracketry and stuff to it, it's sure getting heavier and heavier, and I'm not able to muscle it over as much or as easily as I used to be able to. So she's gaining weight, that's for sure. But like I said, it's all good. I'm really thankful to have this forklift here. I thought maybe I could try to swing it in without putting it back on the cart, because I only needed to weld a few things on the belly, but that didn't work out. So I ended up having to put it back on the cart, which is fine. But this cart is starting to struggle a little bit because, like I said, this thing's getting pretty heavy, and I probably need to build a stouter cart. So far, the cart has been working really well for me. So.
All right, so I got those welded in here, over there. While I got the chassis upside down, I'm going to give it another once over and look at everything and make sure there's nothing I missed. This isn't going to be the final weld out. I'm still going to have to do some more stuff because I got to add some more tubes, but this is the majority of the weld out anyway. So while I have it upside down and free, I'm going to double check again and make sure there's nothing else I've missed, and we'll keep on going.
Here I'm getting ready to weld in one of those radius or rolled fender tubes. I think this is the passenger side, I think. So what I discovered with the way the fuel cell is I'm going to need to be able to pull one of these fender tubes out. So I'm going to go ahead and fully weld it in, and then I'm going to cut it back out and add some 3-bolt flanges to it. You can kind of see, well, you'll see when I get the chassis flipped back over, and from previous episodes, that fuel cell's got to slide in through the side there where that radius tube is that I'm welding on right now. So I'm going to have to design some special flanges to make that tube removable in the future, so I can get that fuel cell in there, which is not bad. It'll be fine. So got that done. Looks like I'm flipping her over again. All right, time for some glamour shots in its current state. It's looking pretty good.
All right, well, we got her right side up again. Now I can start hitting things from this angle. There's quite a bit more stuff to do. I'm going to do my link mount gussets here, finish welding out all this tubing. There's a bunch more joints that need to be done. Over here, 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 here. Roof tubes need to be done. I've got it up on the lift, so this stuff is kind of up higher and I'm not bending over. I already said this, link mount gussets, but I also got to fabricate some link mount gussets for those on the rear link mounts, the top ones. So yeah, more progress to be made. Just keep on rolling. All right, so I was just working away. I forgot to record a little bit of an update, but I've got everything over here welded up. Over here is welded up. Over there, that gusset is welded up. I was working on this gusset and my weld ran off the side here. So I'm gonna have to grind that out, and that plate kind of popped, so I'll have to fix that. I just cut the gussets to go right here over the lower link mounts. So I'm waiting on those to cool off a little bit, and I'll clean them up and I'll get them in here and weld those up. I'm making progress.